You are now watching The Lone Blown. Blown! Use code TheLoneBlown to save when you're registering for Hyperlux events. It will save you on your registration, and there's some large prizes. Be sure to check it out. Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? You're back here at The Lone Blown, and today we're going to be covering over one of the sneakiest decks that we have in the format, Decidueye with that arrow. We got the Deep Forest camo that makes this card really viable because it's stopping all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your Pokemon's V, which also means your opponent's VMAX Pokemon, so V, VMAX, and GX. Basically, all the cards that are worth 2 or 3 prize cards in the formats. We have a lot of support in this format for Decidueye, such as Netball, which is pretty awesome. We have Turf Fields, and we gain Rosa, and we have Counter Gain. So going from a pre-rotation to a post-rotation, Decidueye has some cool stuff going on. Are there things that counter this deck? Yeah, 100%. Your opponent could play things such as Volcanion, Baby Blacephalon, Control. I mean, there's a little bit of a list, but this deck should do okay against some Zacian ADP builds, as long as they do not play Duraludon. Duraludon destroys this deck. And Vikavolt, you do typically pretty well against Vikavolt as well. So those two being strong matchups. Eternatus is also a pretty solid matchup depending on the techs they play. A lot of their Eternatus techs are weak to Grass type. So overall, we have Decidueye, seems pretty cool, blocking a lot of cool stuff. We also got Ditto Prism Star. Remember that you cannot use your rare candy on Ditto Prism. You have to evolve Ditto Prism into a Dartrix. I like the straight up build. Buzzwole Pheromosa allows us to draw extra prize cards. So if we are playing against Eternatus, we can use Beast Game GX to kind of end the game prematurely. To win, we could win with Beast Game GX. It's kind of hot. Jet Punch allows us to do some stuff, but realistically, this is only Beast Game GX to draw an extra prize. I personally like this Rowlet the best because you could hide and seek and prevent all damage done to the Rowlets. Other peeps play sometimes they play this Rowlet. I don't play Birdkeeper in the deck, so I don't see a purpose for this one. Then there's the Rowlet with Skill Dive. It does gain 10 more HP, but I don't necessarily like the attack as much. And there's this one that also has a 10 HP, but it has the worst attack out of all of them. So overall, I like this Rowlet. I think this Dartrix is the best. Going over other Rowlets and Dartrix, we have the other Dartrix that's okay. Same HP, but it's not doing 40 for 1. I guess Wing Flick could be interesting, but I'm not that interested in attacking with Wing Flick. Decidueye, like, when you're playing this deck, you really just want to set it up. If your opponent's playing V, VMAX, and GX Pokemon in their deck, you're probably in a good spot. If they're playing a single prize card deck, you're likely going to lose. Splitting Arrow, just try to like focus on things that your opponent might not be able to scoop up net, things that you believe that you'll be able to knock out. Decidueye is a pretty cool card overall. And then of course we want to go with the Jirachi build because stage 2 decks are inherently inconsistent because they have so many other moving pieces required. Jirachi's great in this build because we have a skateboard in this format still. Like I said, Netball is great because you could search out Grass Energy or a Grass Basic Pokemon, making sure you can get out all of your little Rowlets. Got Ordinary Rod in case things go weird so you can get some stuff back. We got Quick Ball. Again, we want to search out all of our basic Pokemon, just making sure that we have a strong foundation, otherwise we'll crumble from the top. Rare Candy is necessary in a stage 2 deck, don't at me. Switch, we need it for Jirachi and just switching general. Turfield's pretty cool. I mean, it's not super necessary, but if you have the rare candy in your hands, it's easy to just like search out all of the things, making this deck a little bit more inconsistent, or making it not inconsistent, making it super consistent. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. You can only search out evolution grass Pokemon, not any grass Pokemon. Don't get caught up in that trap. Boss order is just to bring up if there's something that's on your opponent's bench that might be able to attack you. Cynthia seems better here than Marnie for the sake of your opponent's just like, you don't need to disrupt your hand because your deck's disruptive enough, and you usually win against the decks that you win against. It's more like, can you get there? We also play Marnie here, so we go for like the 4-3 split. And it's just because Marnie is not as consistent as Cynthia. It's more of a disruption card, even though it's very similar. Rosa is so when we get knocked out, we could just get whatever we want out. And we don't really play Professor's Research because we have a lot of moving pieces. We play one counter game. I mean, it's not ridiculously hard. It's not like Obstagoon where we need to attack with Obstruct. We just chill there. So counter game's cool as a one of. We got 2 copies of a skateboard for Jirachi. Capture energy again, making the deck super consistent to get our stuff out, and then enough grass energy to make things work. You can either take a screenshot of this list or check out the description. I always post the list of everything that I post here, so check out the description. The list is in there. Subscribe to the channel for more goodness, and let's jump into some games, see if we can body some VMAX, and GX decks. Alright, let's get it. Okay. Our opponent is calling the flip. We won the flip, and of course we'd gladly like to go first. We're playing a deck that has evolution Pokemon in it, so we're gonna big chill. We're gonna start with Jirachi because that's just the wave. We want to start off with that Stellar Wish goodness. And there's no point of us putting anything down on our bench before we really figure out what's going on here. Zigzagoon. So let's go first here. First off, let's go Turfields. Let's grab a Dartrix. See what Stellar Wish brings us. Yeah, we can grab a board. There's that, there's that. Let's go for... I don't think our opponent, no matter what they're playing, is going to take a turn 1 knockout, so we don't need to necessarily worry about anything except just getting Rowlets out. If I thought they were going to get a knockout, I would send up another Jirachi. Or get another Jirachi out. So we're just going to pass here and just slowly build up our board state. So far, it seems like we're in a pretty great spot, especially if our opponent is playing Eternatus. It's hard to tell, like, when we're this early on PTCGO, because Eternatus is an expensive deck. I was doing the math, and if you were to buy codes off of, like, the larger code resellers, the deck's like $300 online, and that's in US dollars. So kind of crazy there. Oh, is our opponent just going to pick off this Ditto? What are they doing? What's going on? So one cool thing that you can see is that... What's our opponent doing? What's in their deck? Is this just Zigzagoon.deck? You can see that their Pokemon are weak to Grass type. Is this Obstagoon? I can't tell if this is Obstagoon. There's also the Obstagoon Decidueye deck. If it's Eternatus, I mean, largely this should be an okay matchup. We one-shot them. They do not one-shot us. They could do some sneaky stuff, but... Let's go ahead here in Turfield. Let's get this out. And before we do anything else, let's just go Stellar Wish. So the rare candy is kind of the hotness, but we're gonna grab a switch. We're gonna quick ball away this Dartrix for a Jirachi. We want to get a supporter out at this point. Marnie here sounds like the absolute play. So let's do this. Let's do this. And let's go ahead and Marnie here. It's rough, but we're okay. Okay. I'm feeling the vibe here. We're gonna rare candy up into that Decidueye. We're gonna get a grass energy there just so that we have our energy spread out a little bit. The one that has damage on it already, that's gonna be the one that's gonna get picked off by the Obstagoons, hopefully. And we're gonna pass. So it's really gonna be a one-shot war, us against our opponents. I mean, I think our deck is a little bit more consistent to get set up. So we should be okay here. They also put down Dedenne GX as a 2 prize card Pokemon, so... And we'll, of course, we'll take that freebie, Marnie. They give us a better hand in everything. If they don't get a knockout on this Dartrix this turn, I think it's game over for them. I truly do. Because we just need to get set up way more than they can. I mean, I guess their deck gets Piers in this format. That's kind of hot, but... Okay, that's not an Obstagoon. Please, please, please don't knock out my Dartrix. Your boy's trying to eat. Oh, they're just going to ping us for 20 to just get more damage in play. That makes sense. Oh, they're feeding us a Zigzagoon. Crazy. Okay, so we got a Capture Energy. I mean, is there anything that I actually really care about from that Capture Energy? It seems like the play. This is a matchup that I'm going to try to finish the game off with Buzzmosa. Something our opponent just can't do. We're going to put a Rowlet down there. We do want to evolve here into a Decidueye. Is there anything else we really want to do? Let's go Quick Ball, pitch this away. Just grabbing things out of the deck that we don't necessarily need. Let's go Cynthia first. It's going to give us our best chance of getting out of the active spot. And of course, we got our Decidueye. So we got our 3 Decidueyes up. We got the escape board. We're big chilling here at this point. I'm going to grab the rare candy. Just so that we can get out our Decidueye next turn. And this is where we just start spreading our energies around. We should be all good here. Now, the big thing is I don't need to focus on their Obstagoons because they are weak to grass and they're not weak to fighting. Normally you'd think they'd be weak to fighting. They're weak to grass. So we just one-shot their Pokemon. This is a matchup that I quickly think our opponent's going to concede. Obstagoon's sneaky. It's like the other way of Decidueye. It's the other kind of choice that we have. Sometimes people even mix them together. Just because they both kind of do very similar things, but they have their own niche. So we'll see exactly what our opponent does here. Scoop up nets. Okay. Yeah, they're just gonna go off. It's really like I started this fight, and we'll see who can continue on. I don't think they one-shot me. I one-shot them, so they have to play sneaky. I have a better board state than them. Our attacks cost the same. I realistically don't think it's going to be that difficult, especially when we have the Beast game that I can end the game on like a Zigzagoon or something like that. We also have Snipe. I'd say this matchup just has to be super favorable for the Decidueye. Like, if I end up, like, losing because of it, that's fine. 50. So they are going to take a knockout, and, I mean, we're going to knock them out. It's just tough. So we get our freebie. Let's take it. Let's go Turfield. So we do have our other Decidueye. Let's go Rare Candy here into a Decidueye. So, I mean, if things get rough, we can't fall that far behind. I know our opponent has Marnie already, or they have Rosa in their hand, so let's just Marnie that away. Our hand arguably can't get worse. It can't get better. It just... It's starting to... It exists. We'll grab Switch, because I think Switch is probably one of the more important cards we can have in this matchup. We really just need to set up our Ordinary Rod, and then we'll be good after that. So let's go Splitting Arrow, Knockout, 20 there, and let's go 20 on this Zigzagoon. We always want to focus on Pokemon that we could eventually knock out. How many Scoop Up Nets does our opponent have left? They still have 2. We'll see what they get up here. They still have access to Stellar Wish. We can always use Buzzmosa too for Jet Punch to knock out a couple things. The fact that they use Stellar Wish and grab the Marnie tells me that they probably don't have the Rosa. And this should be where things start to get downhill, because I'll be able to re-up on another energy. I know it sounds like a whole bunch of like gibberish, but it's one of those things where I think we're okay. I don't think our opponent's going to get Rare Candy, Obstagoon, Energy, and arguably we got a better hand off of that. Because we have access to Rosa. The only thing that would suck here is if our opponent actually got a knockout, because we'd be behind on prize cards. But I think this is where their deck kind of just, they're chilling. Are they going to sacrifice their Jirachi? At this point, they're probably not sending up the Dene. So maybe they'll be sacrificing Zigzagoon. Oh wow, sacrificing the Jirachi. Okay, so here there's nothing that we can grab from Turffield, as you can see. I'm just going to go ahead and attach the Grass Energy to this Decidueye. Just in case we do get behind on prize cards, we can always attach Counter Gain. I might as well just attach the Counter Gain to this one. You want to know what? I'm going to keep it. Just because we have the Rosas. We're going to go Splitting Arrow and hit both of those. The Dene, as much as it'd be cool to knock out, I just don't see us reasonably taking care of it. So there's one prize card that this Decidueye is going to take at least, and this one's going to take at least another prize card. Our opponent would have to do the same kind of Rare Candy, Obstagoon, doing extra damage to these Decidueyes, putting 50 damage on it, so they're still 20 damage short. I just don't see it necessarily happening. Yeah, our opponent's 100% just losing the game. We got it! Let's go! Okay, so we're going to call the flip with our cute little Rowlet coin. Let's go! I'm feeling heads today. Rip. I was literally the worst. That was the worst choice I could make. That's fine. Our hand's not bad here. We got Jirachi. Maybe we can get a supporter off the Jirachi and put ourselves in a better spot. It also depends on what our opponent's playing here. Metal. I mean, Metal's one of those things where if they have the techs against us, they have the techs against us. If they do not, they do not. Of course, we'll take another card. That sounds like the wave. No point of us putting anything else down. So Zacian, I can't pronounce anything. They do have resistance to us, but they also can't attack us. This seems like it's going to be a Zacian ADP. Let's see if they have the hot Duraludon tech or anything else that would stop us. I don't know if they even know what we're playing at this point. I'm assuming if they think it's grass, it's probably got to be the Decidueye deck. I mean, I just want to get to a point where they can't attack us. That's all we need to worry. It doesn't matter about how long it gets to that point. It just depends if they have the techs or not. Zacian ADP is a little bit more difficult. I will put that out there. Okay, so they can attack with their Rangaroo, but that's probably not enough. Okay, and they're attaching their energy. It seems so far that they're just like, they either don't know what we're playing or they don't have the text for it. And it looks like they're maybe playing a Lucario Melmetal build. Which can be spooky, but we should be okay here. So let's go for a Rowlet. We just need to make sure that our Rowlets survive. In case they are playing ADP, I don't want to play down other Pokemon. This would be enough Pokemon for us. Let's see what Stellar Wish brings us. I don't care about Quick Ball, so let's just go here for Cynthia. Okay, so a little bit of a... Are they going to take the knockout on us is the question. If they go for the knockout on the Jirachi, we have so much extra time. I'm just going to pass here. If they knock out Jirachi, I know they're not playing ADP Zacian. if they don't knock out Jirachi, I have Jirachi in the active spot, and they could be playing ADP Station. It's really hard to tell, especially with all these different techs, because all of these techs are very interchangeable between the two decks. Like, even now, there's nothing that's, like, super telling. I'll double check the discard pile in case I missed something. Yeah, all of these techs can be played in both. It does seem more likely that they are playing Lucario Melmetal, though. So they got the Metal Saucer. Are they going to sauce this Jirachi is the question. I mean, there's another Metal Saucer. Seems like they're going pretty hard into this deck. Oh, and they're going to play Marnie against us. Largely our hands is whatever. If anything, if we get Rosa, we're in a good spot here. Didn't get Rosa, but I'm not complaining. See, they are playing ADP Station. It looks so much like Lucario Melmetal that it's crazy. Do they play Duraludon is the big question, though. They're going to go Energy Switch here. Yep. I totally thought they were playing Lucario Melmetal at that point. That's crazy. We're still okay. It just depends on what we can get going on here. So we don't want to put down extra Pokemon. We just want to get things that can evolve. So let's go ahead here and attach to this Rowlet. Let's go Cynthia. Can we get rare candy is the question. Let's go for... it's really just tough here. I'm gonna grab Netball because we can grab a Grass Energy. There's really nothing we want to do here. We can't play anything down because our opponent can just get extra prize cards that are not Decidueye. So we're in a bit of a rough spot here. Just with like the way that this deck sets up, and we will experience this with Stage 2 decks. So do keep that in mind. Stage 2 decks can have the inconsistencies like this. And that's fine. That's fine. If we top deck a Rosa, we're in the winning spots. If we just get if we get something off the Cynthia, we're in a winning spots. Yeah, they're gonna bring up their Rangaroo so they can start attacking with it. Okay, so let's set up this one because at least if worst comes to worst, we can use Hide and Seek. Perfect. So we top deck Rare Candy. I automatically feel a lot better. Let's go Netball so we can at least attack with it. There's our Grass Energy. And let's go ahead and Marnie our opponents. As much as we're looking for another Decidueye out, let's just hit our opponent where it hurts. We don't want to play anything else out. If anything, we want to discard those. Let's go Splitting Arrow. Put 20 there, and let's go ahead and put 20 on to the Dedenne GX. I think that's the lowest HP Pokemon that could just get knocked out. So we're going to try to focus on those 3 Pokemon. Maybe our opponent will try to go for Ultimate Ray. The fact that they attach the energies to the Guru shows me that they probably have knowledge of this matchup. I think that they've probably played against this matchup before, or understand how it works, and they're trying to use their outs that they have. I don't think they have Duraludon, because it's pretty clear once we have the Rowlet down what we're playing. They might have Mawile that they're going to save till the end of the game, but it's hard to tell. They just keep on pitching a lot of their stuff. Surprised, maybe they've prized a lot of energies. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in play. So they can start attacking with the Guru. What are they going to get here? Okay. Air Balloon onto the ADP. This could be weird for us, because they're going to hit for 100, and we need to get set up. Okay, they're still just going to go for Primate Wisdom. We need to find a way around this Guru. Whap down. Okay. No point of me doing anything else here. Let's go ahead and Cynthia. We need to find something in the next couple turns. So there's Dartrix, there's an energy. I mean, we have Rosa in our hands. Things are not terrible as much as terrible things could be. Let's go Splitting Arrow. Let's hit there and there. And again, these are the 3 Pokemon we're going to be focusing on. I don't think our opponent's going to Mallow and Lana. They're active. And the fact that they have the 110 on it too, even if they decide to retreat it or switch it, we could be okay here. Yeah, so they grab nothing off the Quick Ball, so unless they have some kind of spicy tech prize, we should be good if our opponent just goes for the knockout on this Decidueye. Not entirely sure what else they could be doing here. It's a mystery to me. So, I don't know if they're just like, do we have an out? Does Zach have the... do I have the Decidueye? But those are the thoughts. I was really excited. I thought it was going to be the Whop Down. Really strong plays from our opponent, though. Even though they don't really have outs, they're going through the Guru. And if we did not find the Dartrix, or if we did not find the Rosa, we could have put ourselves in a really awkward position. But it's not over till it's over. We'll see exactly what happens. I don't know if they're searching through their deck for outs, or if they're slow rolling a Mawile. The Whop Down. Okay, so we don't want to play down any other stadiums because our opponent could play some weird stuff in their deck. Let's go ahead and go Rosa for... well, we need a Decidueye. Let's get a Quick Ball out. And let's go for a Grass Energy. I'm just going to attach the Grass Energy anyways. I don't think our opponent can do anything spicy with it. I'm a Quick Ball away this Rowlet. Just because I don't want to have Pokemon in our hand for Mawile if we have the opportunity. At least Jirachi I could retreat and maybe do some plays with Jirachi. I know it still leaves one in our hands, but it's the best that we could do. Let's hit there, and let's go ahead and hit this one. So this is really the point of, we'll see exactly if our opponent's able to do anything. They either have the spice or they don't. So if your opponent does play Mawile as their only tech against this matchup, you could discard your Pokemon out of your hand. Yeah, and our opponent's just going to concede. That's fair. That's valid. So as you saw, we were able to use our Deep Forest ammo ability and Splitting Arrow all the way to victory in both games, playing against an Obstagoon deck that is weak to us. So we were able to counter a counter deck. Not that it counters us, it counters the metagame, but we were able to counter that deck. And then we played against a Zacian ADP deck that was not able to counter us because their only possible attacking Pokemon was Oranguru. Yeah, we got off to a slow start, but it shows that Decidueye doesn't always necessarily need the most insano start. It doesn't need to have, I attach 5 energies on the first turn. Slow and steady can win the race with this Pokemon. So I think this is an interesting choice for the Atlas POG. Will it lose to some decks? Yeah, decks that are prepared for this deck will definitely beat it. But sometimes players are going to be like, yo, you want to know what? Decidueye is not going to see play. Let's just go for it. Let's not play that Duraludon. Let's not play that extra Volcanion. Let's not play Baby Blounds. So if enough people do not treat this deck seriously, this deck will advance to day 2 of the Atlas POG. It's just too good not to. This list is pretty good. There were some moments where I'd want to use Buzzwole Pheromosa. I largely haven't used this card, but I think it will be successful at some point. It's just a really weird timing issue. Beyond that, there's other ways to play this deck, such as Obstagoon, that we've seen success. So you could play Obstagoon Decidueye to kind of counter both. That deck's probably also inconsistent, but maybe it's a little bit more better than I'm giving it credit for. That being said, I really appreciate y'all watching this video up until this point. Like I also said before, remember to subscribe to the channel. I've been just pushing out video after video, and I love to see those subscriptions come in because it shows that people are enjoying this content. That being said, there's going to be more content coming out, so stay on the lookout for that, and best of luck at the Atlas POG. I'll be playing day 2, so I'll be watching day 1. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. That being said, I gotta jet out here, peeps, but have yourself a great one. Peace out. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks, and have yourself a great one.